Hello everybody and welcome back down into my basement for, well, the Wednesday look at what's growing on in my aquaponic garden and kind of just a bit of a discussion on the aquaponic future on the channel here. Yeah, well, we'll start at the beginning and when we get to the end we'll stop. So let's look at the aquaponic garden that is now. With, of course, the traditional look at the table here because it's down here with the aquaponics. The oregano's doing fantastic. That Reaper plant is still somehow alive, so that's kind of impressive. Got an ahi Guyana here that's struggling for life, and got these little tiny bad brains in there, somehow staying alive. Mint, not a surprise. Here we have the spider plant transplant. As you can see, most of them are doing pretty well. I mean, like this little one here on the corner, maybe not the best example, but most of them, I guess there's another corner that's a bad example. Anyway, most, right? Operative word, most of them are doing well. I did lose a greater number of the Astrid Preps. You can see at least 4 there that are empty, 5, 6 I think. But still, some good looking numbers. This has been running without a top for the last couple of days. I took the spider plants off of the warming mat because by nature they are a plant that seems to like suffering. So I thought I'd give them what they like. I mean, heck, if they really like suffering, I should probably put them in here in the aquaponic garden. Not down here with the fish necessarily, though. We can see these guys are, for the most part, doing fairly well. Seriously toying with the idea of picking up some additional fish for the water tanks outside. A little bit of mosquito prevention. And then come winter, maybe they can move in here. Quarantined first, but, you know, move in here. So here we have the aquaponic sage. This has been in here long enough I can safely say that I believe it is doing well. So hard to tell with things right off the beginning, though. I mean, this basil has had a really interesting go of it. If you look back, since it was a little tiny thing in here, you know, it was doing well. I look down at the basil though and I see there's a tragedy going on here. Nice solid feeling pepper seems to have fallen off of my kind of sad looking penec this week. We've got some dead leaves hanging around. Apparently my recent attacks on the aphids have not been enough. So I'll have to double up my efforts and actually give like that rubbing alcohol cotton ball thing a try. Still, not going to give up by any means. Worst case scenario, I grow things in the aquaponics that aphids don't like. Take sage as an example. Or the mint over here that seems to be doing so well. Did a major cutback on that the other day, just to kind of save a little nitrogen in the system for the ahi penec here. Still no color on that. That monster hasn't fallen off yet, but sure hope it doesn't go the way of this one. Guess I'll take this upstairs, let it ripen up a bit in the sunshine. Hopefully it'll ripen up a bit in the sunshine. And up here we have the recently transplanted, and I'll bet you can barely see it on the camera here. Anyway, the recently transplanted paper lantern pepper doesn't seem to be too happy about its new situation in life. Don't imagine it's going to be with us too much longer. It was a suffering, torture test pepper anyway. Back here we've got the ahi fantasy that I have not yet put into the system, but I have been feeding a lot of its aphids to the fish, so at least that's a good start. I'm still kind of undecided now that I've killed off that paper lantern like fully and officially. I'm not feeling as strong about the decision to move it over. Just, yeah, I don't know, bothers me a bit. Someone was asking, the Canadian flag is still up there, will always be up there. It is, I am. But, that's pretty much just a quick look at the aquaponic situation right now. And, yeah, things are going to improve in the near future, I think. One of the biggest struggles that I've been having with an outdoor aquaponic garden since we've moved to Manitoba is obviously winter is a very real and kind of scary concept out here. Minus 40 Celsius is not cool. It is downright cold. And you need a pretty solid greenhouse to be able to cope with that if you expect to keep your fish water moving. And a little hoop house like I had back in Penticton simply not going to do the job. So I've spent a lot of time planning and trying to figure out what kind of greenhouse, facing what direction, built in what style, yada yada yada. And one thing that has been a major issue for me is how do I provide heat input into this thing. And I think now, because I have been researching biogas generators and burning methane and just how many things you can kind of use that as a fuel for. I have no intention of doing it with all of them, but maybe a couple of generators might not be a bad idea, and some sort of hot water on demand situation in the greenhouse to keep the fish tank water at a reasonable temperature. I think we may be on to something here. So yeah, the future greenhouse plans are going to be a little bit more solidified now. I just need to know what I need to do to build that particular thing. That is going to be on the My Small Farm channel, previously Clean Valley Farms, although I think still Clean Valley Farms, but going to be the My Small Farms channel. Jesus. Planning and to-do lists, it never ever ends, does it? Anywho, I guess this biogas is more of a discussion for tomorrow anyway, which is kind of the permaculture-y stuff. So I guess we will pick it up then. A very short video today, but it's an aquaponic update. There's not a lot growing on. I could babble about that penec for days, but it's still going to look the same. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow as we take a look at permaculture type things on Thursday. All right, everybody, take care and have a fantastic night.